So going into this film, I just wanted to see Jason Statham kick people in the face. Did he or did he not? Let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith, and this is just my opinion. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my movie review for Wrath of Man. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me that thumbs up and consider subscribing. So I think for most people, Jason Statham popped up on the scene a number of years ago with The Transporter. Now, I've seen all of those films. Part 3 wasn't as good as part 1 or 2, but it was very entertaining. I also like Crank and a number of the other films that Jason Statham was a part of. Now, when it comes to Guy Ritchie, the guy that directed this film, he's super dope as well, too. If you look at his filmography on IMDb, I mean, it's just completely on fire. He has Sherlock Holmes, Rock and Roller, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which was very, very good. Now, King of Arthur, Legend of the Sword wasn't the great, but Aladdin was good. The Gentleman, which came out in 2019, that right there is super fire. If you haven't seen that film, you need to go see it because it is really good. That was one of the better films of 2019 for me. And also, he's going to be doing Aladdin 2. And like I said, he is doing Wrath of Man. And so I was going into this just wanting to see Jason Statham. And I think when I hit play, I didn't even know Guy Ritchie was a part of this. And, you know, when I was watching, maybe I saw the credits or it was revealed to me at some point in time. But I was saying to myself, wow, that is why this movie is so good and the way everything is being put together. But before I go any further, let me tell you what this thing is all about. The plot follows H, a cold and mysterious character working at a cash truck company responsible for moving hundreds of millions of dollars around Los Angeles each week. Now I will go ahead and say this, the way this movie started wasn't that great. I was like, what is going on? The acting sucks ass. And if this is how the full movie is going to be, this is going to be a stinker. But fortunately, that was only the very beginning of this movie. Also, I talked about, is Jason Statham going to be kicking people in the face? Unfortunately, he did not kick anybody in the face, so that is very, very, very disappointing. However, he did shoot a whole bunch of people in the face, and that was super dope right here. I mean, it was gunplay all over this thing, and when I just read you the synopsis, I love his character because he is very cold and mysterious, and he is out for blood. He is out for revenge. He is out for justice, and I can't remember how much the trailer revealed, and so I don't want to spoil it for you here, but this guy is somebody that you really just don't want to mess with or you're going to end up dead. And if he's going around killing people, does he have like a worthy adversary? Are there villains in this film that can hold up to Jason Statham's character H as he's described here? The answer to that is yes. Yes, yes. I mean, I love this film from top to bottom except for the very beginning. It was very, very entertaining and I loved all the action and I love the way this film was put together because it centers around one event that happens at the very beginning of the movie, and as it progresses on throughout the duration, you get to see that same event over and over and over again, but from a completely different perspective. And so you're just trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together to have that nice masterpiece at the end. And in the end, it is quite compelling. It is quite entertaining. And I did love it. I mean, this is something that I can watch over and over and over again because I liked it that much. And I just really also like the characters. They're very silly and just unordinary. I mean, really, really goofy. I could not tell who was who as far as like the good guys and the bad guys and stuff, but I love the dialogue. I love everything about them. It just seemed like a fun ride. I was kind of saying to myself, okay, is this somebody that I can trust? I don't know. It seems like, you know, they have something up their sleeve, and the way things are kind of revealed later on, you know, I really did like. I liked how everything unfolded. And there are not too many films to where, I mean, we've seen heist films before, but not in this sense right here, where it's armored cash trucks driving around the city. And so that was just kind of like a new experience for me. Maybe not for you, but a new experience for me. And like I was saying, I like everything, how you're trying to put these pieces together and you get like all these different perspectives from all these different viewpoints. I mean, like this movie, if you just want to see a bunch of people get their asses kicked on both sides, on all realms of the spectrum, I mean, this movie right here is for you. And there are a few actors in this film that you are familiar with, like Josh Hartnett. You also have Andy Garcia, who was new to me from the Oceans 11, 12, and 13 series, and also Laz Alonso. I like the brother. You know, he's a good actor to me, and he was in this film as well, just doing a great job, the best he can, and I really did appreciate that. I had no idea how this was going to end. And one of the things that I really did like about this movie is like the first half, or at least the first third of this movie, is very predictable. But that's not a bad thing, because things are happening the way you want them to, because something happens to Jason Statham, and you know, he's out for revenge, and you're saying to yourself, okay, if I put myself in his shoes, what would I do? And as you're thinking about that, as you're watching the movie, these things are playing out on screen. So like, yes, okay, he just did that. He just kicked this person's ass. Okay, he's going to do this next, and then he does it. And so you're just like, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you're writing the movie in your mind as it's playing out. And I don't know if that was just a coincidence, but it was just a really dope experience for me. And that's just the very beginning of the film, that it being predictable, but I liked it. I mean, usually things that are predictable are bad, but in this case, it worked. But towards the end of the film, I was like, wait a minute. Who is really the good guy and the bad guy? I don't actually think there are any good guys in this movie, and they may all be bad. And that was just kind of like an interesting twist that I just really wasn't expecting. So you go from this predictable plot story to something that I have no idea what's going to happen. I like how they shifted that right there. That was just super dope, and you really don't know who you want to root for. I mean, because at one point I was like, wait a minute, I thought Jason Statham was a good guy, but is he really a good guy? Maybe he's just a bad guy mad at another bad guy. And I can't remember the last time I seen that right there. And so you don't know who to trust. You don't know who's your friend. You don't know who's your foe, and everybody's shooting each other. I mean, and guys, we all know that people are going to do crazy things when it comes to money. You know, I mean, we've seen this in real life. You probably experienced this yourself. I mean, sometimes families fall apart, siblings and all that stuff because of money. So then when you have strangers that are going through this same thing too, transporting millions of dollars, and all they got to do is do this and do that, and they can escape, get away, you really just don't know how things are going to play out. So if you just want to see a great cast with a lot of beat ass in it, with money, millions of dollars, where you're trying to put these pieces of the puzzle together, I mean, this film right here is for you. I enjoyed it. I went in with high expectations. Those expectations were met. And, you know, I'm happy. I'm satisfied as a viewer. And so, you know, I'll go ahead and say, guys, that is just my opinion. I really did enjoy this right here. It was a blast. Like I said, it's something that I can watch over and over again. And real quick, if you want to see any of my movie reviews for Army of the Dead, Those That Wish Me Dead, Jupiter's Legacy, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, or click right here on any of the videos that are popping up on the screen. And if I had to rate Wrath of Man out of a 1 out of 10, I think I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. Yep, a 9 out of 10. But guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and it's just my opinion. Peace.